Hey, my name's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. I post every Tuesday and Thursday on my business adventures and how they can apply to you to help you accelerate through your business journeys. Today I'm sharing a couple mistakes that I've made multiple times over, and you'll probably make them too, but try to avoid them as much as possible. Number one, when you're starting something, you're giving up equity too soon. I've done this many times in multiple different businesses. I've given up equity too early. I come up with an idea and I gave up too much equity because I thought that was fair. And turns out it wasn't. If you've got a great piece of real estate or you got a fantastic business idea, those are the most valuable pieces because you can execute on those. Once you have an actual asset or a tangible idea, you can pursue those, and it comes down to building out your plan and executing it. But the mistake that I've made again and again is giving up majority equity in some of my ideas. Whether that majority is, I'm not giving up 20%, maybe I'm giving up 50%, or I'm giving up more than 50%, and it was premature. I had an idea, or I had a great opportunity, and I was quick to give up a good portion of the actual upside in that opportunity. Most people, when they're getting started, end up doing this. Please don't fall for this. If you have the idea or you've got the great asset that you're pursuing, pursue it and see if you can take it down by yourself. And if you can't take it down by yourself, you can't figure out how to swing it, it's okay to give up a little bit of equity, but try and play it out how you could do it yourself first. Don't be super fast or just say, oh, well, I'll give up a good portion of this upside because I haven't thought all the way through it. I've done it too many times. Another mistake is you have sound principles, you've done the math, you have a plan on how you're going to execute on the business idea, and then you don't pursue it because you think you're scaling too quickly. I did this early on. I did this in my first business venture. It was with real estate, but there was a bunch of opportunities that popped up, and I've had a mentor since tell me that when you're in the beginning, you have a ton of opportunities, not a lot of money, and then eventually you have a lot of money and not a lot of opportunities. But I was in that first stage. I didn't have any money, and I had so many opportunities. But I had a plan, and I had a path to execute on it. I was actually going to take on a partner. I was falling into that first mistake I brought up earlier. I was going to give up equity, but I was going to do the deal. And there was a handful of these opportunities. I didn't buy them because I thought I was scaling too quickly. But the math checked out, the location checked out, the idea made sense. And if it makes sense, it's more likely than not to make money. I had a path to execute on it, buy it, and that would have made me a millionaire much faster. And more so important than being a millionaire, it would have provided a lot more net cash flow every month, which is arguably way more important than net worth. Disposable income that comes in whether you work or not is way more important than your net worth on a balance sheet. So if you have something that makes sense, you have a path to execute on it, all the numbers check out. If you make the same mistake I did, you're going to say, well, I don't want to scale too quickly. Because looking back on it, it wouldn't have really changed everything in the long term as of now, but back then it sure would have helped. And while it wouldn't have changed the trajectory a whole bunch if you zoom out a long ways, in the beginning, having that extra income definitely wouldn't have hurt me. I thought I was just scaling too quickly, but that would have helped so much to have the extra money coming in every month, having the extra unit count. It was similar areas where I was building my portfolio, but a little bit of a diversification play. So don't make the mistake of thinking that if everything checks out in your numbers and your business plan, that you're going to scale too quickly. Odds are you're not scaling too quickly. And if you had just a little bit more confidence, which comes with time in the business, you would actually say, well, this is just a great opportunity. We should go tackle it. And that's how I felt about everything I turned down where I originally thought, well, I'm scaling too quickly. So don't make that mistake. Also, don't make the first mistake. Lastly, other than just taking on equity or giving up equity too quickly, taking on that partner or thinking you're scaling too quickly, a big mistake that we're paying the price for now, I got out of my normal business. I was a real estate guy, and then I did some consulting. But I ended up going from real estate to hospitality. Now, hotels are one facet of the real estate business, but it is a completely different business than the type of real estate I was in. The biggest mistake you could probably make outside of giving up equity too soon is jumping around, switching the types of things that you are focusing on, going from business to business, things you don't understand. Probably the biggest mistake, again, it would be when I jumped into Robinhood Village Resort. That will make money in the long term, but it absolutely detracted from my business potential, and it takes a lot of resources out of the team for the multifamily business, and from even the consulting business, and from the property management business. It takes time, resources, takes money, and that was a mistake. I should have stuck with what I know. If you are just getting started, don't hop around from business to business. Stay in the same thing, make it work. If you don't get any traction, sure, you can swap businesses, but when you start getting something that works, you start hitting a little bit of your stride, you're getting some wins, stick to it. Don't make the biggest mistake that I've made and go out and try and do something different just because it sounds fun. I've posted a lot of videos on my old channel, Multifamily Strategy, about, oh, we're doing this for the adventure. The adventure's going to be worth it. It wasn't. We're better for it. I'm better for it. But it was still a mistake. And I could have been farther rather than being better if I had just stuck to what I know. So try these 3 things. Try to avoid them. They're mistakes. Write them down so you don't forget them. And if you like this type of content, it revolves around the things I'm doing in my business, how you can utilize them or avoid certain things. You can have a mentor for what to do and what not to do, which could be equally, if not greater in importance. I'm posting these videos every week. I'd appreciate your follows. If you can subscribe, hit the like button, comment. And if you don't like this, give me a thumbs down and tell me why in the comments. Either way, it helps the channel. I appreciate your support. And I'll see everybody on Tuesday.